Hi guys, current Health Secretary Wes Streeting has defended allowing former Labour Health Secretary Alan Milburn to attend departmental meetings despite having no official role. The Tories are suggesting that Mr Milburn's private healthcare sector interests create an issue around his potential access to sensitive information. Streeting hit back by saying that the Tories were happy to use his knowledge when they were cosplaying as New Labour some years ago. The Conservatives are clearly trying to get some sleaze to stick to Streeting, but this is what he had to say in response in the House of Commons on Monday.
But she never had that luxury because every single one of her Conservative predecessors left NHS waiting lists higher than where they found them. Except, of course, for Therese Coffey, who was outlasted by a lettuce. In fact, it says a lot about the modern Conservative Party's anti-reform instincts that she is so opposed to Alan Milburn. They used to hug him close when they were cosplaying as New Labour. Andrew Lansley even asked whether he would share the new clinical commissioning board his top-down reorganisation created, although Alan sensibly turned him down and labelled the reorganisation, and I quote, the biggest car crash in the history of the NHS, which just goes to prove, Madam Deputy Speaker, that Alan Milburn has got sound judgment and is worth listening to. But if she wants to lead with her chin and talk cronyism, let's talk cronyism. Why don't we talk about Owen Pattinson's lobbying health ministers on behalf of Randox? They care so much about cronyism, they welcome Lord Cameron back with open arms following his paid lobbying for Greensill. And for reasons of ongoing court cases, let's not even get into Baroness Mone and the £200 million contract for PPE. Where was she during those sorry episodes cheering that government on and presiding over a record of abysmal failure that's put them on that side of the chamber? Not only is this government having to rebuild the public services they broke and rebuild the public finances they raided, we're also having to rebuild the trust in politics that they destroyed. We will put politics back into the service of working people, rebuild all three, and clearly we'll have to do it without the support of the Conservative Party's One Nation tradition, because they're not even running and they have abandoned their flag. It's clear the Conservatives haven't learned a thing from the defeat they were subjected to on the 4th of July, and we'll get on with the business of clearing up their mess.
Oh, that was a powerful speech. And, Wes Streeting is a great speaker, and he's great at getting his message across, and he's great at attacking the Tories. Now, there's a way, look, is there corruption here? Is there cronyism? Perhaps there is. I don't know. But the important point is, will the public care? Because for a long time, the public were willing to look the other way when it came to corruption within the Conservative Party. But during the pandemic, that all changed. Because ordinary people were being affected. They saw, look, we're going that extra mile to maintain social distancing. We're going that extra mile to protect our loved ones and others in society. We're making massive compromises. We're doing that extra heavy lifting. And then they looked around and they saw the Tories partying. They saw the Tories handing out massive contracts to their friends and donors. And this really stuck in the minds of the public. And they were really upset about that. And, you can look at the polling. Partygate cost the Conservatives 6 percentage points in the polls. So if there's cronyism here, but Wes Streeting is able to fix some of these problems, like bringing down the NHS waiting list, then it will be overlooked. This is how politics works. People will be upset about cronyism or corruption if it's affecting them. If it's not, then they'll ignore it. They'll complain about it, but they won't actually do anything about it. And I don't know enough about what's going on here. But if there is corruption or cronyism, and Wes Streeting is able to succeed in improving the NHS, bring down the NHS waiting list, then the public will support him in that. But if he doesn't, then the Conservatives and others will be able to point the finger at the cronyism, at the corruption. See, real reforms were not taking place. The NHS waiting list is not going down. The Health Secretary is more interested in taking money or making sure his friends are in positions of power than actually doing the work of government. So once again, it comes to the point of, if the government are able to fix things, the public will be tolerant of cronyism or corruption. It should not be the case. Let me put my cards here on the table. We need to get rid of corruption in politics. Corruption is anti-democratic, as I said before in the past. But it's all about perception. If the public are looking at an improving NHS, an NHS waiting list coming down, an improvement in society in general, then they're willing to tolerate, I should say, a certain amount of corruption. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think. As always, your comments are greatly appreciated. Thanks a lot.